Hello everyone and welcome to the Master's Table. Thank you for joining us today. I always say it, but you've picked a good day. I don't think we've ever had a bad dish, do you?
Nope, it's all good.
So it's a great one today. You want to tell them?
Won't you tell them, because you can pronounce it better than I can.
You just say it and I'll let you know when it's wrong.
No, you tell them what it says on that bottle right there.
It's balsamic.
Balsamic.
Balsamic something.
Beef curry. Beef curry.
Balsamic beef curry.
Yeah, that's what I get tongue-tied every time I try to say that. Yep. This is part of our collection of slow cooker or crock pot recipes. We like to try to make something real easy and simple that you can pop in. You can do the prep work on this the night before, then you can get up in the morning, throw it in the crock pot, and cut that thing on low, and when you get home, everything's smelling good, as long as the dog hadn't knocked it over and got it. So it's all good. So we're gonna get to all these ingredients in a minute. We got a chuck roast. I've already kind of quartered it up, cut it in some chunks. We're gonna sear this and put all this goodness together and get it in the crock pot. So, Miss Cleveland, you ready to do this?
I'm ready to watch you do it.
You're gonna do it. You're the one over in front of the stove today. So y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all stay with us. Get you something to write with. Write this recipe down. This is a good one. You're gonna want some of this. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back. Welcome back. All right, we're going to get started on this dish. There's not a whole lot of steps to it, so it's very easy. I could do this.
These crock pot meals are always simple. They come together relatively quick, you know, and these ingredients, I'm gonna go through them as we add them, but you know, you can put as much or as little as this. I'm gonna give you what we're using today and what the recipe says. And it'll be on the screen, you can copy it, but you can adjust that to your liking, some of the vegetables and stuff we're gonna put in. Now what we've done with this skillet, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut you on a medium heat. We just wanna sear. This is a chuck roast. This was a pretty good sized chuck roast. And so all we wanna do is sear this. And what I've done with this skillet, I went ahead and put it in the oven, a preheated oven at 350 degrees, and let it go ahead and get a good head start. So we're just gonna drop this roast. Like I said, let's cut it up. And the only thing we're trying to do is get a sear on it. We're not trying to get it,
For people that don't know what sear is, it means brown.
We're gonna brown it a little bit, that's right. That's what Granny would say.
In English.
Granny would say, throw it in the pot and just get a little brown and get some dripping started. And that's all we're gonna do, is just let that do its thing right there.
That is a pretty chuck roast right there.
It is. You catch them on sale every once in a while. I got those at the big box store. I actually got 2 of them in a pack that was relatively cheap. So, and like I say, we're just trying to brown that a little bit before we drop it in. We're just starting right in the very beginning, starting to create some flavor. So, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and cut this onion. The recipe calls for 2 onions. I guess you could use 2 if you had those small or medium size. This is a very big onion. That's a big onion, Miss Cleveland. So we're gonna just kind of quarter this up. I don't want it to be real small, so we're just gonna kind of pop this in half and maybe do it like that. And I'm just gonna break it up, and we're gonna get some of these vegetables ready to go in that crock pot when you get that meat on. So, like I say, I don't want them to be so small that when they cook, because this will cook for a while in the crock pot. So we're just gonna we still want to have a piece of onion, I guess, when we get it done. So I'm just gonna kind of break this up while you got that going. Like I said, it ain't gonna take much, Miss Cleveland. You just saw.
Does that mean turn it?
No, not yet. But you may want to cut that on up.
He's so passive aggressive.
You may want to go ahead and cut that up though. Like I say, all we're trying to do is get it brown. We're trying to sear it. We're just trying to get a little color. We're trying to get a little. And I told you, this onion right here, boy. When I knocked that skin off of it a while ago, this one right here ain't playing. This is a real onion. I'm talking about a show enough real onion.
Make you cry, make a grown man cry.
That's exactly right. So let me grab I got one of these little pans. I'll take that onion. I'll work on those potatoes.
I'm gonna flip them, and then if I need to flip them back, I will.
Yeah, we're just trying to get a little color on it, just to give it a little head start. That'll go ahead and get it started going good. We don't want to waste none of that goodness right there. Okay, we're gonna do that. And why? Let me rinse this just for a second. This is a special request. This is for Miss Christina. She asked last week about something with curry, and she said something about Balsamic, is that right? Balsamic. I said it right.
Balsamic.
Balsamic. She said. I struggle with that word. I ain't got much education, so it's okay. But I rinsed these potatoes off.
Stuff. That's what it is. It's just
It's
stuff.
that stuff, that vinegar. But Miss Christina asked about this, so I said, you know what, that's exactly what we're gonna do. Because we love requests. I love coming up and having the recipes and stuff to put in front of you, but when it's something somebody wants, I really get excited about that because I know somebody wants it. So, but you'll always eat it, so it don't matter. So I always got somebody that wants it. But like these potatoes, just a rough chop. I don't know.
Is it better to use those?
These are the Yukon Gold.
You
could use the russets. I guess it's just according to what kind of flavor you're in the mood for. These give a little bit different. You know, the different potatoes have a little bit of different taste. So I like the Yukon Golds. Just personally myself, they're one of my favorites.
Cut that piece.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut that little piece off. Like I said, I washed these, but I didn't cut them up. I like to leave the peelings on them, so we'll
Peelings are good for you.
Yeah. Let's see. I'll do that one more big one right there. Knock that end off. But like I say, you can use whatever. You could use some russets, or you could use some of those little small round potatoes. Whatever you might want to use, whatever you like, or like me, what I shop for a lot of times is what's on sale. Mm-hmm. It's whatever's on sale is what I like to use. So, we like to value shop, and anybody that goes to the grocery store much now, ain't nothing cheap no more. So just look for that markdown aisle. That's the first thing I do when I go in the grocery store is look and see what's on sale.
If we had time, we'd have a garden.
Oh yeah. Yep. I've been thinking about some stuff, and I need to put you out a tomato plant anyway. But
A tomato plant.
Yeah, and a pepper plant.
Squash.
Well, squash. Yeah, we like fried squash too. Boiled squash, fried. And kind of pickled, it don't matter. I eat them any kind of way.
Yep.
But I like those. Look, I even got some coffee. I got a little cup.
My mom and Dad used to have a big garden every year. And then my grandmother and mother would spend the end of the summer canning everything for the winter.
Yep.
So.
You don't hear a whole lot of talk about
too.
that much anymore, though. People don't can like they used to. I did hear somebody.
Maybe that's why I don't like to cook.
Brother.
Because I had to do all that.
Everything's so simple and so easy now, though. Used to you couldn't, certain things, my daddy would grow in the garden, you couldn't go to the grocery store all season and get it. Yeah. But now you can go any time of the year and buy anything you want in the grocery store. So I think that's one of the reasons why people tend to not grow as much. But it sure is better, and it's just a feeling of knowing that you had something to do with it too.
Yep.
It's what makes a difference sometimes.
We had some tomato plants one summer that Frankie planted. I'm not kidding. Those tomato plants were higher than our heads. I've never seen such tomatoes. I mean, just tons of them.
They were.
It was. I don't know what he put in them, but whatever it was, it worked.
That onion still got my eyes watering. That's a real deal onion. Yeah, I think I put a lot of Miracle Grow and a whole lot of other stuff.
Good soil.
Friend of ours, Mike McCoy, told me one year the biggest tomato plants he ever grew was outside of his shop. He said everywhere he threw the mop water out is where the plant was. He said that thing grew up and went over the building. So I guess it had something to do with the ammonia or something in the water. I don't know, but I'm glad I didn't eat none of those tomatoes. Yeah. He said they got really big. Yeah, just leave it right there for a minute. Yeah, I like it. That's looking good. That's like it's going. That's a pan full of meat right there. But it'll cook down. That beef, it's gonna shrink down. It won't shrink down to half of that, but it won't be that much after it cooks in that slow cooker for a while. But it'll be a whole lot of goodness in there. That's the thing about it. And see, that meat's already releasing some of its own stuff. Granny always said, good meat to make its own gravy. So all you gotta do is just cook it and let it do its thing. So that's just leave that on that one side. I'm gonna go ahead and bring that up. I'm just going to say, let it cook just for a few more minutes. I'm going to go ahead and bring this crock pot over. Give it a good wipe over, and we'll bring it over here, and I'll show y'all what we're getting ready to do now. As Tina's getting that seared on up, we'll dump that whole thing in here in a minute. But I always like to give me I'm going to put a lot of stuff in here. I always like to put a little coat of oil on the bottom. And like I say, we're going to mix it up, and this probably ain't going to stay on the bottom. It's going to get all over everything. But I like to put a little bit of oil before I even get started. And we can go ahead, and I think we'll start with our liquid stuff first.
I just thought about it.
What'd you think about
deer roast.
You could use any kind of roast, yeah. I mean, the people around here where we live,
That would be very healthy.
Yeah, people they eat a lot of venison, deer. Like I said, you could put whatever you wanted to in there. I mean, you know, if you didn't want beef, you could make a chicken. You can make a chicken curry. And I say this too, that you know, there's different ways. I mean, you can make a Jamaican jerk curry. You can use there's Oriental style curry. I mean, there's lots of different kinds of curry that you can use in spice level, and it's just all according to what you like, you know. So we may do a dish like that in the future. Huh?
No chicken.
No chicken? You don't like chicken? Tina don't like the chicken too much. Yeah. She's leery of chicken. But you know what? It's different. It's different kinds, and you know, different variations of different kind of curry recipes that you can use. But I kind of looked at a couple of them, and I really like the way this one looks. I really don't like the way that looks right there. I'm gonna cut that off. But we're gonna see how this turns out. Like I said, this is easy, simple, just rough chop on everything. We're not doing a whole lot of them. I think you're getting just about where we need to be, Miss Cleveland. What you think about it? You want to let it brown just a little bit more?
That's up to you.
Yeah, let it roll on just a little bit. So what I was gonna say, we'll get to our. Let me get my coffee. I want to dump my coffee in there. I'm gonna drink that, so I'm gonna set it over here to the side. But we'll go ahead and start with We'll go ahead. See there? You might want to back it back down a little bit now.
I don't like it.
This is a quarter cup of your vinegar. Say it.
Balsamic.
Balsamic vinegar. Okay. We'll go ahead and add that. And there's different kinds, but I would say get a good quality one. That way it'll have a good flavor. Yeah. This is a cup of this is low sodium chicken broth. My doctor got after me about the sodium, so I've been trying to be a little more healthy and get some of the lower sodium
All right, I'm fixing to turn this off.
Yeah, go ahead and just cut it off and just let it sit there just for a minute as we're working on this. Like I say, we got this pepper, we got all this chopped and ready. Let's go ahead and put us about, let's see, did you stick a spoon right here or no? Yeah, there's one right there. We're gonna put in,
well, it
calls for about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, so I'm gonna use about half of this can, what I like to do, and I'll try to save the rest of it for something else. That's more than 3 tablespoons, I know, but I like that flavor, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that. And I seen a whisk in here too. We'll kind of whisk and mix this up a little bit. You don't have to do a whole lot to this. This is gonna cook. This is gonna dissolve. I'm gonna do its own thing. As it begins to spend a whole lot of time, and this stuff's gonna have enough time. What's I was saying? It's gonna marry together real well. So, all right. This is 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. We just kind of keep whisking our liquid in, and we're gonna get ready to add all that stuff right there in. Miss Cleveland, we got this is just a pinch of thyme. This is just like a thick pinch of thyme and a thick pinch of parsley. Then again, measure really hard on those. If you want a little bit more, if you like a little bit more, just add it. But we started at the bottom and we're working our way up. We're just building a whole lot of flavor. Now, hang on a minute. I can't let my coffee get cold.
Yeah.
I got to drink it before it gets cold. So, I don't know. I think I'll just drop that in here too. All right, this is 3 tablespoons of curry. And I would say this is just a regular. This is kind of like a mild curry. This is not a spicy curry. I could have lit you up, but no. I don't like the real spicy. I like that flavor though.
But if you like spicy, yeah, add it.
Well, you know, and what I may do is put just a couple of pinches of red pepper flakes in it, just to give it a little bit of, just a little bit. But see, I like the way that looks. That's starting to smell good too. I smell something right there. Now, let me rinse this out and get me just a little bit of cold water, Tina. Just for our sauce part of it.
It looks like
we're gonna do us
mustard.
We're gonna do a couple of. That's about 2.5 tablespoons of water, and I got about 2.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. And this right here just kind of be our thickening. This will be our thickening agent right there. This is what I dip the cornstarch out with, so I'll mix that up right there. This is gonna help it thicken up, make a good thick gravy. We'll add that. Looks like pouring milk in there, don't it? Do that. Mix that. Like I said, I'm just letting this mix a little bit while you getting ready for that right there. This is gonna be, I like the way that smells already. So I guess I can go ahead and while you're
It's ready.
getting that ready, we're gonna go ahead and drop the red bell pepper. And you can use green bell pepper if you want to, but that red gives it some pretty color. And this was it calls for 2 or 3 carrots. This is probably 2 carrots, 2 small carrots. That's not a whole lot of carrot. Like I say, if you like the carrots, you can add it. Cause like me, so I use that whole big onion. I would rather beef up on the onion. Oh, there's a piece of that red bell pepper. No pepper left behind. We ain't leaving nothing behind. But like I say, we'll put our potatoes and onions, and we're gonna get ready to. We give this a little mix. That's what I need right there. We'll give this a little mix right here. Get everything, get a little coat, and we're gonna drop this meat in here in just a few minutes. That's got a good color. You done good on that, Miss Cleveland.
It was hard.
I know it was real hard, wasn't it? But see how easy this is. I mean, this is simple. This is good. And this right here would pair good with some rice, or you could do some potatoes, cream potatoes. If you you already got potatoes, but if you didn't put a lot of potatoes, you could use cream potatoes. I mean, you could.
Of course, you know what I said.
Noodles or cornbread.
I said cornbread, and then Miss Diane said no biscuits.
Yeah, well,
so I said any kind of bread, and I'm down for it.
We're not gonna argue with nobody about nothing. I'm gonna put some all-purpose, any kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna say you like any kind of bread.
I do.
And I know y'all think he puts a lot of pepper, but I like pepper. And I'm always very generous with the pepper. And I'm not putting no salt. You're gonna have to put. I gotta go see Dr. Morel, but I'm gonna show him. See that right there? I'm gonna close it back. I ain't even gonna put none. I ain't even putting a pinch in there today.
You can salt your own.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is just some more. This is our all-purpose. This is some garlic, black pepper, paprika. Just our all-purpose. We just want to give that a little coat of that. And if you like it spicy, this has got the red pepper in it. Like I was talking about, I might put a few sprinkles of red pepper in there. I just want to get a good coat on that, on those veggies, and then we're gonna get ready to put that meat in here in just a minute. I mean, that would probably be good. You could cut that on right there and just go on and do it up right there with that if you wanted to.
Yeah.
That would be good. It was just a pot of vegetables.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the garlic, and we'll put the meat in, Miss Cleveland, before we go to break. Let's see if I can get 2 right there. 2, 3, 4 garlic cloves. It's just according. It's just Then again, a recipe. Please listen to me. A recipe is just a guide. Use it as a guide, but then you put what you like. Yeah, just tweak it. That's the reason why when people reach out to me and they want a recipe, I always send them a Word file. I don't send a PDF file because I send you a Word file. So if you save it, then you can go in and edit it very easy, and you can turn it into your recipe, because there ain't no secrets, and there ain't nobody. I'm not a doorkeeper with a recipe. So if you want it, I promise you, I'll put it in your hand. Those were big garlic cloves.
I mean, I was going to say I smelled a lot of garlic.
Yeah, that smells pretty good. Those were big. I think. What do you think?
But then again, garlic's good for you.
Yeah, I like the garlic. I think I'm gonna put that other one in there. I mean, this is curry. I like that garlic too.
No,
so.
let's don't put another one.
You don't want to put another one in there?
No.
You don't want to put that one? Till no garlic left behind.
Yeah, but everybody don't want a whole lot of garlic.
Okay, I'll save it. We'll use it on something else. We got to cook some more too, so we'll save it. That's got a good coat. So, all right, Miss Cleveland.
Ready, Freddie?
Yep.
Just throw it in there.
You mean? Yeah, I'm gonna get you a little bit closer.
That's all right.
Yeah, just go ahead and drop that, and I'll give that one more final mix. And you really don't have to do near as much mixing as I done on that. You wouldn't have to mix it that much. You could kind of dump it and just go with it if you wanted to.
Now, what makes the juice?
Like I said, good meat. Make its own gravy.
So what's going to make it sound?
Yeah, it's gonna. I may put just a little bit of water. I'm gonna see what it looks like here in a minute once I mix it up. But to be honest with you, once those vegetables cook down and sweat down, as Granny would say, once they kind of wilt down, they're gonna release some. Some water, and we put the cornstarch in there, so we could actually put a little bit more water if we wanted to. But I don't want to dilute it down too much, because we don't want to lose our vinegar flavor in there. And like I said, we didn't put a whole lot, but it is, you know, it's enough to give it a good flavor, I guess to say. But after looking at that, let me move this out of the way and I get my crock pot ready. I will put just a little bit of, I'll put a little bit of water. Let's see, I thought I had another cup sitting right here. Give me, I thought, well, here it is right here in front of me. I knew I did. You brought it over here.
Use that one.
Yeah. You brought it over to me. So what we're gonna do is put about, that's probably about 3/4. I'm not putting no more than that. But we're gonna put about 3/4 cup of water. That's gonna be plenty. All right, I don't have no plug right there close, so let me move this over out of the way. Let me get the brains of the crock pot.
I love crock pots.
I do too. You can make something really good. And
cook anything in a crock pot.
You really can. A crock pot and an air fryer. All right, we're gonna drop this in. Top. Like I say, this is I'm gonna have a whole section, and I've been working on. We talked about a cookbook for a while, and I've been working and doing a little bit more work on the recipes, and I want to have a whole section of our cookbook when we do it is a slow cooker, because these recipes are all about making it simple and making it easy. You know what?
Busy mothers.
I know we go to break, but let me say, we got to do this too. I can't leave that out. I told you the good meat does its own thing, y'all. So we'll do that. We're gonna put this in now.
Now you're done.
We're done. We're gonna power this thing up. Now, that's 8 hours on low. It comes on at 8 hours, so that's exactly what I was gonna say. If you're gonna put this together and do it before you leave to go to work in the morning, that's exactly what I do. I put it on low for 8 hours. But if you're doing this on a Saturday, you know, we might sleep in a little bit. Well, you don't let me sleep in on Saturday. But if you get up a little bit later and you want to have this ready for your family late that afternoon, you could put this on and let it cook. Probably, I would cook it on high for about 4 hours,
4 hours,
and then check it. And then if you needed to go another hour or so, but you could cook this very easy in a half a day. But like I say, if you want to put it on low, 8 hours, and just walk away, and when you come home, it'll be smelling good in there.
It is. We're about to go to break, so just don't go anywhere. We're going to see the finished product and have a tip of the day.
You got a tip of the day. That's good.
Don't go anywhere yet. We'll be right back.
Yep. Come back and join us right here on the Master's Table.
All right, welcome back. We're going to see what this dish looks like, but first let me give you your tip of the day, and this kind of goes with what we did today. When you're cooking on your stovetop, heat your skillet, put it in the oven, or you can, like we did, we preheated it. Even before you put the oil in it, preheat the pan first before you put the oil in it, or you can do it on the stovetop, either one. It will make a difference in it sticking. It will cook better, and we have found that out with cornbread. If you don't heat that skillet up,
oh yeah, you got to put that oil in there.
That cornbread will stick every time. So
quarter cup oil. Yeah.
So preheat your skillet before you put the oil in it, and it'll make a difference.
Yeah, and like I say, you don't have to wait on if when you're doing your preparation, just go ahead and pop it in there. We're preheating the oven anyway. So
speaking of cornbread,
yeah, you should have made something.
I wish we had some.
Now, if y'all can get a good look at this right here, and see that right there, boy. Look at how tender. I mean, that just
pulls apart.
That's just like pulled pork right there. That's just like making barbecue. That just breaks apart.
So stir it around.
Yeah, I'm just trying to break that up. I'm gonna dip it out here in just a minute. I was just trying to break it up, let y'all see exactly what we got.
It almost looks like beef stew.
It is kind of like, it's like a beef stew. It is a beef stew, but it's just
it's just roast instead of.
But it's no. But I mean, I use the chuck roast when I make a stew, but I don't. You know, this has got the curry in it. This has got the vinegar, and this just gives it a different flavor. So all right, we'll take you, Miss Cleveland. You said you wanted to look at it, so I'm gonna let you look at it. Let's see those potatoes and those carrots that we started with. See how the onions, how they cook down, and then there's a piece of that meat. Look and see how tender that is.
Yep.
I'm not even going to attempt to put that in my mouth right now.
Nope.
But
Me
but then again, I'm gonna get this piece. I'm not gonna eat this much, but I just want you to see how that just breaks apart, this tender. That is some more good right there.
This is a great dish for someone who wants to have dinner ready when you walk in the door.
Comfort food. This is a super-sized comfort food right here.
And
so
you can do different variations with it.
Yep.
You know, add or subtract whatever you like, the vegetables or whatever. Maybe you want to add something that we did today.
That's
That
Make
would
it
be
yours.
fine. Make it yours.
Make it your
yours.
recipe.
So,
We're just trying to simplify and take some of the mystery out
Yep.
of it. So thank y'all so much for joining us today on the Master's Table. Come back and join us next week. Same time, same place.